Hello, my name is Chile Eboe-Osuji. I am the president of the International Criminal Court since 2018 and a judge at the court since 2012. I am recording this message on Monday, the 15th of February 2021, as my time at the court both as president and judge approaches its end on the 10th of March 2021. As I leave the court, I should like to share these parting thoughts. I truly feel positive about the future of our court, not because the court's mandate is easy, but that mandate, being a mandate of humanity, should be wholly unnecessary in a world where the keenest impulses of our civilization are allowed always to direct how we human beings treat one another. Sadly, however, lessons of history would teach that as merely wishful thinking. So it is that the world continues to need a permanent international institution whose mandate is to hold accountable those who commit genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression, so that victims may have a place for justice when justice is not readily available at home. That permanent international institution is the ICC. Despite countless challenges during its first 2 decades, the court has remained undeterred in its determination to discharge that mandate. That determination lives in the resolve of the court's judges, the prosecutor, the registrar, other officials and staff to discharge their functions. I am truly grateful for their service to humanity as I have witnessed them perform it during my tenure as president. But that determination is also much inspired by the robust moral support that the court has received from many states and their representatives, as well as from civil society and academia, even those who come from states that are not yet parties to the court's treaty. I thank all of you. This joint effort has served to ensure that the ICC is a principal pillar of the international rule of law, a key tool in the pursuit of international peace and protection of humankind from unspeakable acts of inhumanity. None of this is to say that the court's success is automatically assured in the discharge of its mandate. Indeed, the ICC's mandate is such that in the nature of things, the court is always going to attract resistance, even resolute pushback from those who find the court's work inconvenient to their own objectives. And such resistance or pushback has been key amongst the countless challenges that the court has faced in its work during the past 2 decades. The beginning of 2021 has now ushered in a sense of a new dawn on the international stage, a sense of hope, of rebuilding the structures and the spirit of multilateralism and confidence in the idea, all of which were central to the creation of the ICC in the first place in the 1990s. It is critical that the spirit of this new dawn is harnessed to the maximum extent possible to rally broader and stronger support for the Rome Statute and for the ICC. That task belongs primarily to the court's states parties. While many of them have done an admirable job of mobilizing support for the court during the darkest periods of the past 4 years, there is much more that can be done to protect the court from the repeat of such experience in future. Equally important is the need to invest continuous efforts in enhancing the court from within. Like every human institution, the court is not perfect. It will continue to need constant improvement. To be sure, that need is indeed the original weakness, the Achilles heel, if you like, of every judicial system in the world. But it isn't only judicial systems that have that need. Every human system has it too. Professor Stephen Hawking identifies the same problem even in our broader universe. As he once put it, and I quote him, "One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist," he said. That is why the court's leadership during my term voluntarily invited a comprehensive systems review, the first one in the court's history. Our very aim in inviting that exercise was to strengthen the ICC as an institution by identifying in a comprehensive way areas in need of improvement in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. But there is a small word of caution. It is to say that great care must be taken to ensure that the court's independence is never in jeopardy as a matter of implementing any of the recommendations of the review consultants. Independence is the cornerstone of every judicial institution's legitimacy. Nothing that risks its compromise could ever be good enough for this international court of law. I leave the court during a period of profound transition. The Assembly of States Parties has elected last December 6 new outstanding jurists to replace the 6 judges whose terms come to an end on the 10th of March. And just last week, the Assembly also elected a new prosecutor in the person of Mr. Karim Khan QC to replace Ms. Fatou Bensouda, who departs in June. I take this opportunity to pay the deepest respects to Ms. Bensouda. She is a person of unquestionable integrity who has been the best possible exemplar of what it means to have an independent prosecutor serving an independent court. Let me also pay tribute to the incoming prosecutor, Mr. Khan, who is only coming back to the court he knows so well. I have known Karim for almost 25 years now, since when we were both much younger prosecutors at the ad hoc tribunals for Rwanda and for the former Yugoslavia. He is a first-class legal professional with a true sense of purpose for what this court stands for. I have no doubt at all that he will be willing and able to use this court to pursue its mandate of humanity. On the 11th of March, the judges will elect a new president to succeed me. I trust that all the judges, the officials and staff of the court and the representatives of states will rally behind the new president. I have no doubt that the new president will give the job all that he or she has in the tank of effort to serve the court. Now, before I conclude, I feel compelled by the importance of the court's mandate of humanity to leave this soul-searching question that must always guide our efforts in the service of the court's mandate. And that question is this: have I done the very best that is possible within me to do in service of the court's mandate, and not merely what I consider to be good enough or even more than good enough? That is a question for all of us. And my answer to that question is unequivocally yes. I hope that will be yours too, at all times. The victims of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression deserve nothing less. I thank you.